Top of the morning to you. Welcome to it. New Living Mornings in newlivingnow.com. Wednesday edition. The downward spiral to the weekend has begun here on this September 11th, this Patriots Day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. My name is Chris Carson. I am a local real estate agent.
I'm Carrie Bedard. I am a marketing professional.
Good morning, and I am Tommy Clifford, and I'm the tech guy here at New Living Mornings. Love it.
You are a tech guy, and we love you for being here.
I'm a total geek. You should have seen me on Monday, because Monday was Tim Cook Christmas. Apple announced all their new stuff, and I'm driving from...
What did you say? It was what kind of Christmas?
Tim Cook. He's the CEO of Apple.
Tim Cook Christmas.
Tim Cook Christmas. It used to be Steve Jobs Christmas, but Steve's up in heaven, so he has wings.
Sure.
And so we're driving from Schaumburg to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I told my business partner, I said, we're going to have to stream the Apple event live in the car. So he suffered while I spent 2 hours listening about new iPhone stuff.
Ooh.
That
was riveting.
Did you see the iPhone 16 commercial with The Weeknd? And they shot a video
with using the phone.
Just
That's
using
crazy.
the phone. It was really cool. They have a slow motion cinematic view on, or
120 frames a second. Oh yeah, I could tell you the whole thing. Oh yeah,
I know.
Delicious.
I think
show of hands. Who will not buy an Apple?
Of course you won't.
Who doesn't?
Whose laptop has an Apple on?
Still don't. How do you even back up on those things? You can't even go back a screen. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Oh, here we go. That's fine.
Dumbest thing ever.
Whatever.
Me and Tommy are against
Android
you.
Wins.
That's fine. Green bubble. Green bubble. You be a green guy.
Green bubble. What's that mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
When you talk to someone who has an Android, the messages is green. When you talk to someone who has an iPhone, their message is blue.
Tommy, thank you so much for clarifying that.
And if you have a group text, it'll all be green because one person isn't part of the group.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We shun them. The SS Macatini.
Wow.
SS Macatini just pulled it down.
I was like, I was like, green bubble. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You just, thank you, Tech Tommy. You just taught me something.
Just full of amazing stuff from Tommy. Thank you again, sir. Weather-wise, part of the cloudy skies throughout the day today. Sun going to peek out from time to time. Got a slight chance for showers and warm front back here.
Toasty.
Again, mid-80s. And that looks like the case for the next couple days, and then upper 70s like the next week. So
no, it's going to be like one day of the 70s, and then it's going to go shoot back up into the mid-80s again.
Evidently, Carrie's doing the weather now, so we'll let her take care of it.
I'm just telling you, I was like not happy about it.
I just looked at the 10-day forecast. We got 80s for the next 3, and then it's upper 70s.
It's going to be.
That's not what mine showed this morning. So
yeah. I always check my weather while on the toilet.
And in this corner, we have Carrie Bedard. In this corner, we have Chris Carson. Ding, 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 go cage match.
And this guy over here has some. I don't know what this is, but I just like bumped my lip.
Or you've been playing the
trumpet.
Like, ooh, you've been playing the trumpet.
I think I got a lip zit.
Lip zit?
Ooh.
Yeah, or that.
That's the most.
Hey, where'd that thing come from? It's that friend that just keeps on giving.
It's the most sensitive place.
It's right on the
nose
edge.
And your lips.
I've gotten some ear zits that are the worst things too. It's like, oh my gosh, please cut my arm off when you take this thing.
The ones inside your nose. The ones right inside.
Brutal.
I never had that.
You have what?
No, I never have.
Oh my God, you were so.
You know what?
It's
gonna be
the
karma.
worst.
Yeah.
You get nose zit
karma. I
stuff?
have zit karma because I told a friend that I'm like, oh my God, you have a big zit on your chin. She's like, I know. And then I got one almost in the same exact spot like 3 days later, and now I got a second one. So
are you making fun of this one right now?
I can't see it. You have too much facial hair.
It's right there. Go ahead and make fun of it. See if you get
No. We're not making fun. No.
Oh,
it's right. Oh, stop it.
Wow, that thing's huge.
Oh,
holy cow.
You know what causes zits, right?
Well,
Androids.
Not funny. That is so not
if
funny.
you had an iPhone, you wouldn't have a zit.
Practicing unsafe Android.
Whatever.
You got syphilis.
Whatever. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your special day. A few famous people that you're sharing your day with. Ludacris. Luda, 47 years old today. Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, he's pretty.
Junior.
I just watched a movie with him.
You think he still got that
God,
old?
He is like dreamy. Yeah.
That's dreamy, huh?
He's
Tommy. Would you say dreamy?
No,
He's- but-
Ludacris is more dreamy to me because I've got hose in every area code. That's what it is. Oh, you didn't expect that, did you? You didn't expect it. That came out of left field. Because I heard that, and Carrie's snorting over here. She's snorting because she's got.
Didn't
nose
we have a
zits.
meeting last week where we said we can't talk about hose, and then he just brings it up?
Hose in every area code.
I think he's talking about like Home Depot, the hose aisle.
Probably. That's exactly garden tools. Garden tools.
Okay, speaking. Okay, I'm not even gonna go there.
Hold on. Hold
yeah,
tight.
yeah.
Ann Ramsey, 64. Few famous people there
What is
mad
she
about
in?
you. She was
Yeah.
in Mad About You back in the day.
Like she's one of those people that looks familiar, but I wouldn't be able to tell you her
Yeah,
name.
one of those. It's a B-lister that's
Yeah.
in a lot of things. Yeah, for sure. Ann Ramsey, 64. National Days today, Hot Cross Buns Day.
Ooh, hot
Hey.
cross buns.
I could play
very-
that on a
Mhm.
recorder.
Can you?
Probably, I might be able.
You think you still can? And why do they call it a recorder?
I don't know.
It's a
There's
flute,
no,
isn't it?
there's no tape involved in that.
Yeah, right.
I
I
don't know.
I never understood that whole thing. Make your bed day. Did you?
No.
I never.
Just flopped
I'm not.
out.
I'm not a bed maker.
No.
My wife will make the bed.
So the bed is made though at some point.
Yeah, it does. She's a good
Yeah,
bed maker.
She's a good bed maker. My bed's made.
Is it? Congratulations.
It's kind of one of those things. It just makes you feel like you've,
Accomplish something?
yeah, it's like to start out the day. All right, I did this. If nothing else happens today, at least I spent a minute.
I make the
I
bed
made
when
my
people
bed.
are coming over.
When you're having guests.
Mhm.
When people are going to walk by the room.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to see it.
Otherwise, I just am like rolling out of bed.
Did you ever watch that speech from a general that went to a college? What the commencement speech? Is that what it's called when they go
Yeah.
there? And
I didn't
He's
graduate from college.
one
so
of
I
the
don't know what
first
that's
things.
like.
You know what? Not surprised. Somehow he just got through without doing any of it. He was just that amazing. But this general, he started out his speech, and one of the first things he said was, "If nothing else is going in your life, if everything is at the bottom," is kind of the take he was going with. He's like, make your bed, start your day out with something, and you can make your bed.
It's a
And then
great
from there,
inspirational
so-
message. That's a great message.
It was a great message. I'll share it with you. The whole thing was like very motivating. It was a cool speech. But that said, yeah, make your bed day, and then of course Patriots Day, 9/11. That day, remember it like it was yesterday. Let's chat about that for a hot couple minutes. Or should we jump into news first and then talk a little bit
No,
about
let's talk
9/11?
about let's talk about 9/11.
Let's get the news and events out of the way, and then we'll come in because I got a feeling that could end up taking that conversation could end up
Okay.
lasting for a little
Fair
while.
enough. That's fair.
So let's just jump into.
Jump into the news. Well, we didn't do our show on Monday, so we can't talk about what happened on
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sunday. Oh yeah.
Ooh, migraine from hell.
Oh,
I've-
migraines are the worst
I've
ever.
never had one.
And I was
really,
in
I don't
Indiana-
think.
I
He
was in-
was
I was in
traveling,
Chicago.
so
Yeah.
it would have been just the Carrie show, which would have been awesome. But I
Oh,
decided
are you kidding me? Awesome. The Carrie Show.
the Carrie show.
Starring
yeah.
Carrie.
Mhm.
Oh, it probably would have went on for like 3
I
hours.
feel like that's one of those TikToks where you're like several different characters. You have different
like
wigs,
right.
different.
Be
my
like,
gosh.
hold on,
stuff.
I'm
There's
gonna take a potty break and fill up my coffee.
I'll be right back. Just
Please hold.
talk amongst yourself.
All right,
Okay.
sorry.
So we need to talk about Jordan Love getting hurt.
Do we have to?
Oh
Do we have to?
well,
It's not as bad as we thought.
It's not.
It's not a season ending.
It's not season ending. But oh my god, my stomach just like I was
Sank.
just
Yeah,
like
but that happened before that happened though. The stomach sinking part, like when passes weren't getting caught, when
Right.
passes
Right.
when catches weren't there and the passes were terrible. I better plug this thing in before we.
so we had so the one thing that I didn't realize is when you put someone on injury reserve, they're usually out for 4 or more weeks. So they did not put
Oh.
him on injury reserve.
So when you go on injury reserve, that like you have to have a minimum of how much time you can be gone.
Correct.
Got
So there must be some type of rule with that, obviously. But so that's good. Technically, he's still on the roster. So he's not totally ruled out, although people are saying he's not going to be playing.
He's
so.
definitely not playing next week because didn't they already pull up some?
Oh, did they pull
Yeah,
that
they've
out?
already got.
Yeah,
they
they
already-
got their back. Not Sean
Ooh.
Clifford because
No,
they let him
no.
walk.
I don't even know the guy's name.
All right, I think we're back.
We're back. Hello, where do we go? Hello. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Are we still there? I think so. Slightly frozen. Yeah.
I'm not frozen.
All right. We're
Are we
good.
good?
All right. All right. I think we're golden. I think you can continue on with your news there.
I don't remember what I was talking about. It was so long ago.
About those margaritas and things that we were going to be having after the show. Today.
Margaritas.
One margarita.
So a lot of controversy. We were talking about the news.
Jordan
so
Love.
Jordan
We're talking
Love. Okay. But a lot of controversy about the field conditions in Brazil.
Yes.
So-
field conditions were horrible.
Yeah.
Soccer fields are groomed and treated differently than American rules football fields.
Well, they knew this was happening. Why didn't they like grow some turf and
I don't know. I mean, I've seen them from 1 week to the next. They replaced the entire sod on Lambeau Field. Remember that? I've seen that happen.
100%. Yeah, they could have
So
done that.
I don't
could've done
know.
a better
But
job.
this is Brazil. They do them, but they knew what
No,
kind of
it's the
cleats to
NFL.
have.
It's the NFL.
The NFL knew.
The
They knew
NFL.
what-
They're making a lot of money. They should have been there.
I don't know enough
Yeah.
about it, but I agree with you. I mean, somebody dropped the ball.
Somebody
and
dropped the
Aaron
ball.
Rodgers,
Jordan Love.
got hurt because of it
Did anybody watch the game on Monday?
a little bit.
Oh, were you kind of holding your breath when
Yes.
Rodgers walked out on the field?
I was.
I was like, no way. I'm like, don't do it. But he actually looked good for a little bit in the beginning, and then
Fell apart at the seams.
Yeah.
And then per usual, can't take down the Niners.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was always nice.
per usual.
Yeah.
They did find some skeletal remains that are appearing to be that little Elijah Vu. That's so sad.
Where did
It's not-
where did they find them?
They found it on a big plot of land that they actually searched, but I guess it was so massive. A short distance from the house, which is usually the case, and it also they found a diaper. So
My body hurts for them.
I
My heart
know.
hurts.
Yeah, super sad stuff.
but at least they found
Right.
him,
And
which
there's
I
a
think
potential for some
is a
closure.
good thing. And can you believe it's been 30 years since John Benet Ramsey?
Oh my
happened?
gosh, that dominated the news.
30
cycles.
years, huh?
30 years.
God.
She'd be
Been a minute.
36. Was she 37? How old was she when she passed away?
What?
How old
Oh,
was
she was 7, I think.
So
6 years
she-
old.
so
6
she'd
years
be
old.
36.
36 years old.
Wow.
She totally would have been a
Yeah, I
dance
can
mom.
absolutely remember that. 100%.
Oh, are you kidding me? Dance
Yeah.
mom,
Yeah.
hoops, hair. heels,
I've
the whole
watched
thing.
so
Oh, yes.
many documentaries on that. I was just like,
Oh, you were like engulfed in it.
oh, for sure. That's all. I love all those little jams. Like Dateline puts me to sleep at night.
I do like that stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Mhm. I don't
But-
like the unsolved ones though, because it drives me crazy.
Oh, I know. Right?
I mean, I like watching it, but I don't.
right.
When I'm all said and done, and I'm just stuck with a bunch of thoughts and
What
theories in
happened?
my head, and
Malaysia
I'm
flight
like,
370. What happened? Where is it? I only so much I can watch of that.
yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I want
kinda.
answers.
Yeah,
When you get to the other
kinda.
side, we're gonna get lots of answers, but not now.
Do you know what my favorite is though? And I get engulfed in it every year is JFK.
Oh,
Like
yes.
so November usually
There's
rolls
a
around
Bruder
and
film. Oh yes, yes, yes.
there's so many good movies on it. The Oliver Stone
Yes.
JFK with Kevin Costner, that's my favorite. But even some of the documentary series and stuff that come on.
taking that whole timeline. It's amazing how that whole thing happened. Just,
Actually, there's a movie called Parkland, and it's about Parkland Hospital where
Oh,
they brought the
Yes.
where they brought Kennedy in,
yes.
Mhm.
and Zac Efron's the doctor, and
Ooh.
it's like because what happened when they brought the president to that hospital, that's what the movie's all about. It's really good.
Ooh,
Mm.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch it. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
watched
really
it.
good. It's
I think
really
I've
good.
seen snippets from it.
Don't miss too many Zac Efron movies.
Princess Kate announced that she's done with her chemotherapy, so hopefully everything is going to be all and well in her world.
Yay to a speedy recovery.
Mhm.
And then James Earl Jones died. James
Yeah.
Earl Jones passed away. The voice of Darth Vader.
Mhm.
He is the voice of a generation. That
He
voice can be
is.
picked up anywhere.
So now
Right.
the face, the body, and the voice of Darth Vader have officially passed away.
Yes.
All of them are gone. Sad.
Really. So all the actor who played it, was
Mhm.
passed
After
too.
the filled the
It's all
everything.
gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
There you
dead.
have it.
He's good.
Yeah.
It is so good. Let's talk about some events. We've got Farmers Market in Kokana tonight
Ooh,
on
Farmers Market.
Friday, Area 509, which Chris and I went and tasted some of their lovely food there.
Amazing rice.
They're having a food truck rally, and it's pretty
Ooh.
cool in that backyard that they have there. They've
Yeah.
got like a little, it's like an adult playground, kind of, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like giant.
Where do you park though? When you go there, where do you park?
You
There's not a lot
park
of parking on. There's not a lot of parking.
your Tommy, so you park wherever you want. The rest of us will just park on the street.
Okay.
Yeah,
parking.
you go wherever you want.
Just
Man.
gotta park it right here in the front, in the
Yeah.
lobby.
Yeah, there's a reserve sign. Reserved for Thomas R. Clifford.
There we go.
There'll be people standing out there directing
Dignitaries.
you in.
That's right, directing.
Yep.
Over here, Mr. Clifford.
Well, after you go to the food truck rally, head down to Green's Poorhouse in Neenah because Ants Marching is playing there. Have you ever watched them play?
They're
They're
fantastic.
so good.
Oh my gosh, great Dave Matthews
I don't
cover
think
band.
so. I don't think
They're a
I've seen
Dave
them.
Matthews cover band.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, they performed last year at a
Makes
show I was
sense.
at and did a
Yeah.
wonderful job.
Very cool.
They're really good. And now we are starting to get a lot of the fall festivals. So
That's right.
pumpkins are ready. So we've got Pumpkin Fest in Green Bay on Saturday. On Saturday, we also have Fall Festival at
Ooh.
Hatton Park in New London. So we'll start seeing all of those happening and coming around. Of course, we've got the Packers versus the Colts at Lambeau Field. So
Ooh, first home game of the season.
yeah, which just engulfs the city, right?
Sure does.
Yeah,
But-
it sure
Why
does.
the big sigh?
Just cuts.
What
It's
ticket? Don't you have
frustrating.
tickets to a game this year? Didn't you get tickets?
Yeah, the Thanksgiving game.
Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah,
Miami.
That's right. That's
Think-
right.
Yeah, my brother's a big Miami's fan.
So we won't be having you over for dinner because you're going to be at the Packer game.
I will be at the Packer game.
Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, early. We can do early. Or
who's going to do like Blackstone like peach cobbler?
Can we do a makeup day or
Okay, makeup day.
maybe
Yeah.
ahead of time? I'm willing. I'm
We
willing
had
to
the
work.
Inaugural Blackstone usage
If I oh yeah, she's been used a few times.
by you though.
Smash burgers and
oh,
breakfast.
Oh,
Smash burgers and breakfast so far is all I've
Breakfast?
made on it. Yeah.
Oh. Did you
Fajitas
bring
of
any?
some sort will be next.
Did you bring any?
Negative.
Oh,
No.
bummer.
thanks
I'm
for
kinda
sharing.
hungry.
No.
That's okay. No. I didn't even want any. No, thank
No.
you.
It's
Though.
not like
No,
I
no,
don't
couldn't.
like omelets.
I mean,
No,
I brought
couldn't.
you sweet treats. Are those still sitting in the freezer upstairs?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What
Yeah,
did- what
whatever.
did you-
Whatever. See, I
No.
put time and effort and
You-
thought.
Hey,
I
do you want?
cared.
Do you want to know what? I actually craved that.
Whatever.
What
did.
kind of sweet treats did you bring in?
Whatever.
He made me a birthday treat. And it was really, really good. I actually craved it though. They're almost like dilly bars, but the inside was peanut butter.
Tommy, when's your birthday?
Yummy. March
March?
11. March.
Okay.
The Ides of
Well,
March.
6 months. So
Can
we're
we-
at my
oh,
6 months.
So we
I'm
can
at
do
my
your
6
6
month
month, your halfway birthday,
Right,
your
today.
half birthday. Okay,
Half-
so we're
halfway
gonna.
birthday.
I'll make you some for your half birthday,
Thank you.
and I
That's very
bet you enjoy them.
I'm sure I will. I will never stop
Tease
talking
me,
about them.
taste them, and then forget about them.
I
I've been
did-
eating on them for like days.
I
It's like the
did-
one thing
did
I
forget
could
about
eat.
it.
You just
Oh.
like nickel and dime yourself to death on it.
They're so
I
good.
might actually go grab it after the show because I am hungry. I didn't eat breakfast. So, and we got Oktoberfest coming up on September 11th in downtown Appleton. You can find out about Oktoberfest and all the events that are happening in our area at newlivingnow.com.
What
Check
day
out our
is
events.
Oktoberfest?
September 28th.
September 20th. Okay.
Yep. So
Thank
go check out newlivingnow.com, our events page, and we'll get you connected to everything that's happening in Northeast Wisconsin.
Nice job, Carrie. Thank you very much. Once again, let me apologize for the fourth member today on the show. This is it, or whatever. 'Cause
Ziggler's with
now
us today.
that I've
Zig-
touched
Ziggler?
it, oh, it just
Ziggy. Ziggy Pop.
it's like it's screaming to me and saying, "Hey, I'm very much here today."
But I promise you,
Make
we don't
me a
see
part.
it. You're.
do you,
This is
do
all
you
Oh,
know
I
what,
I
Chris?
feel like
If
my
you
lip
would-
is 4 times the size
if you
right
wouldn't
now.
have said anything, I don't think anybody would
No.
know.
But should we go get the pliers? Because we're gonna
Oh,
tweak
God.
that bad boy. Just like
Oh
reef
God,
on
I
it.
can't even imagine.
You know
that
what?
would-
Or you could use a paper clip.
No,
Apply that pressure.
I think
on
all of
there.
that sounds terrible.
Well, I think I got a bobby pin somewhere. So
Or
Well,
just
let's-
like a little needle, just pierce it and it's like. It's like
Mhm.
I love watching pimple.
Oh
popper.
God, no, God, that
Yay!
actually just sent like an electric bolt through my
Oh.
body. That I was like, oh God, no. And then the pimple popper instantly made me disgust. Like,
Oh,
throw up.
I don't know what that is. It's so satisfying. I'll just see something and I'll go.
You watch that?
Oh my gosh! On like rewind, I'll just
Do-
watch.
I know some. I've watched it. I watched Dr. Pimple Popper before she was popular with her show.
Correct. I did too.
Like, I actually know the names of some of her patients.
Oh my gosh.
Messed up. I cannot believe. I feel like maybe there's something a little wrong with all of you.
I
that
don't know,
watch
but
that.
she's got like 10 million
I
subscribers.
know it's.
So many people will
Didn't
watch.
you have a show though, like on
It's
cable
called Dr.
television?
How
Dr.
she
Pimple
extracts that pour of winer and she goes in and get the melon baller in there and get that out. Ooh, it's so satisfying. It's the best thing ever.
I don't like the cysts though.
Oh god.
I only like when they do like the when they pop the cysts. I think those are gross.
I am so grossed out. Had we talked about this on Monday, for sure, I would have been. Oh god, no.
Would have put his resignation. I'm
Look
walking.
at
I'm
you.
walking.
Chris is walking
so
around like
gross.
this all day.
Here we are. Just like this.
I'm just worried. I'm just worried about things today.
It's a cold sore. It's not even a zit. It's a
Hey,
cold
why don't
sore.
you put a
got from-
band-aid on it?
You got from macking on that chick over the weekend. You were using unprotected kissing.
What? No, there was no. No, there was no kissing.
Oh, he had a
No.
double think about that.
Yeah, no, there was no kissing.
No
It was a
smooching.
guy's weekend all
I was
weekend.
gonna say, weren't you away with the boys?
Oh, it
this
was just a
weekend?
guy's thing.
You didn't go to Denver again, did you?
Did not.
You want to go to Denver though?
No. Well,
You want a transplant?
I parts of.
Did you look how much it would
doesn't
cost to,
necess-
to change your license and move to Denver? Have you done that much research?
Negative. No.
So you're not that serious about it. Okay.
I'm not that serious yet. No, but all right, let's. Kathy says this is getting too gross. She's signing off. Kathy's a little weak here this morning. I mean, we weren't even painting that great a visual, for God's sakes, unless she's talking about my lip, which in
think she
case I
was.
get it. Thanks, Kathy.
We're done talking.
Thanks,
about
Kathy. I
that.
appreciate it.
We're going to change subjects.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about Patriots Day today.
Yes, we are.
And what happened on this day so long ago now. It's crazy that it's
23
been
years.
that long already. Where were you? I feel like that's the question, and that's the thing that comes up anytime anybody that was there or around says, where were you in that moment? So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start with you, Tommy.
Oh,
where were
26th floor of the Hotel Intercontinental, downtown Chicago on Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
Getting ready for the day, sitting on the edge of the bed, my boss in the shower, and I'm watching the news. It happened right in front of me. Get the cell phone out, call my wife. Hey, what's going on? Are you watching the news? And we were supposed to be there for a big, huge print exposition in town. And we drove home. We got a rental car and we drove home. And the whole time I remember listening to Dan Rather, navigate this whole, he was the voice in the head. And we had our windows down and everybody was listening to Dan Rather. So everywhere we're driving, just super, it was like a slow motion movie. And I'm on the loop, just watching the Sears Tower because you thought something was going to happen. Because you had so much non-information.
Right.
Well, this could
You
have
had no idea what was going on.
Correct. No,
Nobody knew anything.
And I had one of those SkyTel pagers that was like I call my little Barbie laptop, right? And one of my coworkers, Alex Eves, was in a plane. He was flying from Atlanta to Appleton. He was on his layover in Detroit, and he was on the runway and they got grounded, and he didn't know what was going on. So I'm feeding him information because they have no, this isn't the up-to-date news. You don't have your iPhone. You didn't have any electronic gadget other than your pager. So I'm giving him information, and he's sharing it with the entire plane. And they had to rent a car, and because of what they thought was going to happen in Chicago, they drove up to the Upper Peninsula home.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was just so eerie. The one thing that I remember about that event was the news crawler.
Yes.
That's when the news crawler came into town and started to become a huge item. Because you'd see all
become
the information.
addicted to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What an amazing, very poignant day. Very, very poignant day.
Where were you?
So I worked at Thrivent. It was actually AAL at the time.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
I was downtown Appleton and in the 222 building. So I actually got to watch it live. I watched the first plane hit, and then I didn't really pay attention. I saw or I didn't. There was news reports that were coming out about it. Then my sister called me And she's like, dude, did you hear what happened? A plane just hit the World Trade Center. She's like, she goes, don't you think that's crazy? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, another plane hit. So, and they had the news, or
Sure,
they had the
right.
cameras on so you could see that second plane come in. And then it was just like, it was just crazy because the markets were open because they open at 7 a.m.
Right.
So the market started going crazy. And so when the stock market shut down, because it was just plummeting, right?
Oh, sure.
And then I got a call. I always laugh about this because everyone's like frantic. We're like checking the internet, watching TV. Nobody knows what's really going on. And then my husband called, and he goes, they just blew up the White House. I'm like, oh my God, they blew up the White House. Well, it was the Pentagon. So I was telling everyone bad information about it.
There was so much.
Well, nobody knew what the
Correct. No one
there
had
was
any
so much
idea.
going on.
Real-time information was
But
hard.
I think the worst, the absolute worst was when the towers started falling. And that was just like watching those towers fall. I remember being in the break room in the 222 building, and they had the TVs up there, and we're just surrounded. I mean, there was just like tons of people just watching, and we all just watched that tower fall.
Helpless, completely
Yeah.
helpless. Nothing you could do about the situation.
But you know what I remember about that morning was I was driving in on College Avenue, and the sun was rising, and it was a gorgeous day. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And I remember them saying, oh, it's 9/11 today. And I remember them saying it on the radio. And I was thinking to myself, oh, 9/11, like 911. Isn't that funny? I don't know why I remember that morning, but it sticks in my head.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Chris,
I was
where were
working
you?
at Chili's. I was tending bar at the Chili's in Appleton. Had been working there for a couple of years, rolled in at, I don't remember what time it was, 8:30, 9 o'clock, started getting things set up. And of course, things had happened. We turned on the TV. That's when we started watching it. Kind of was just in the background, when at the very beginning of it was kind of just background noise. Took a little while for us to really lock in and watch the TV. And I remember a fellow that had, I don't know if he had missed an appointment or something, but he was a customer that came in early. So we let him in. Instead of him sitting outside, we let him come in and sit at the bar. And then he kind of just sat there and watched the TV while I was opening the bar. And then it was right around the time that the second plane had hit and everything was just rolling. And I will never forget standing right there, looking up at the television and having this totally lost and empty. And like, I could not believe that this was happening. And then that afternoon I had scheduled, that time I was a mobile DJ. I was doing like weddings and stuff like that. And I was scheduled to do the North Shore Country Club. They had some big company had rented out the golf course, and they were flying in a ton of people to meet that day at the golf course. They were going to have a big meeting there. There's this golf thing going on. I was supposed to set up by the pool. Well, of course, that was all squashed. And I remember it just feeling like a lost day. And it felt like everybody around me was lost.
Mm-hmm.
That look of bewilderment and like not being able to understand what was going on.
There was so much fear.
Yeah, I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Like bumping into walls.
Such a crazy feeling.
We went to Chili's. That's when we drove from Chicago. We drove up in just like silence, listening to the radio, and we weren't talking to each other because we're just soaking all this information. Then we went to Chili's, and we sat at the bar and we just watched on the TV because that was the first time we had visually seen what had happened because we just heard it. And we just sat there eating our lunch in complete silence.
Well, and what's crazy is if you think about, what 23 years later and the impact that 9/11 had on air travel.
Yes.
Is actually, incredible when you think about it. I mean, it dramatically
Gone
established.
are the days where you can just go meet your loved one at the gate.
Right.
You can't do that. Hey, welcome home. No welcome home dad signs or anything at the gate.
Right.
And I mean, some airports, like the Kansas City airport. I don't know if you've ever flown into Kansas City. It used to be like pods, and there was a period of time where you couldn't leave. You had to leave the TSA zone to go actually use the restroom because of the way it's set up. So you're right. Air travel will be forever changed. I think travel anywhere is forever changed. There's an air of, what are you doing here? And you know, a lot more questions asked in that type of thing. It's
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I'm okay with. I mean, it's sad that it had to happen because of that, but I mean, it makes me feel better.
The only thing
checks
that's stupid is taking your shoes off.
I don't do that because I'm TSA pre-check. I'm better than everybody.
Oh, you're one of those types, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You do make us feel like you're better than us when you walk through the line. I'm just saying.
Oh, there's no.
I don't
doubt about it.
think
There's no
it's
doubt. I look down my
necessary.
nose at people. Really,
I
You
don't
have to wait
think
20
that's
minutes?
necessary.
It's
I'm
just
My
because
brother-
you're tall.
My brother did the same thing when we went to Denver. He went ahead of me. I had to go through the commoners line.
Get the crack and crevice search.
Yeah.
Sure.
The crack
Now I have to
garage.
tell you that 4 weeks after 9/11, I was in New York City for a business meeting, and I went like 3 days early, and we actually got a tour. One of the gentlemen took us down to close to the World Trade Center, and I remember the smell.
Yes.
Diesel fuel
Yes.
and welding torches, and
It's eerie.
there's a little church that was across the street from the World Trade Center. And there were all these posters. Have you seen my mom? Have you
Oh.
seen my dad? And there was an old lady sitting there, and there were candles lit. And she would relight the candles when the candles went out.
Oh.
And when one of the flyers started to flop and move and tear away because of the wind, she would put a piece of Scotch tape up. And you'd see all these chain link fences just with pictures. Have you seen my aunt? Have you seen my uncle? Have you seen my mom? Have you seen my dad? And you'd go down to 9/11, and you'd go down to the ground zero, and they had an area where you could watch. You could watch them, and if they found any sort of remains, everybody would stop working on the site. Ambulance would back up, and they put a national anthem, and then the ambulance would go.
Oh,
It was just,
wow.
it's one of those things that you can't get out of it. You can't get past that.
Mhm.
I can't imagine being in the building. I can't imagine what the first responders went through. I can't imagine the person who decided that it was it was a decision. You know what? If I jump, I have a better chance of living than if I stay.
Yeah.
Oh,
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm impacted by it.
Yeah.
Clearly. I mean, of course, as the country as a whole hit, but anybody was, even the people that were running that weren't in the building that were lucky enough to get away, and I've watched so many videos.
Yeah.
I watched
Oh my gosh,
so many documentaries
Yes.
about this, and it's always those people that are on their streets running away from it as that big white cloud poops out between the buildings. I mean, it feels like it's a movie.
It
You know,
does.
it looks like,
Where's
wow,
the
this is how they
CGI?
shoot
Where's
movies.
right?
And to think about those people that were running in that moment, to try to take in that feeling of fear of the unknown, what's going on, what is happening, to see these things going on, to put yourself in those shoes, and then to have to live with that after it is crazy. It's
Very crazy. And there's there's like an FAA little movie that shows all the planes in the air, and then when they ground everybody, you watch you can like see the whole map of the United States. Then you just have it go down to one plane, and that one plane was carrying Greg Hunt, good friend of the family, who was a general in the military who got called from Rochester, New York, to come to Washington, D.C. to be part of the triage process.
Yeah.
But he was the last plane in the air before everybody grounded. When I was in Chicago, there were all these people that were from like Vancouver, different parts of the country. They couldn't get home. They had to rent U-Hauls. They went to like Gander Mountain and filled up U-Hauls with all kinds of sleeping bags and stuff so they could make the trip across the country because all their planes got canceled. And there was no rental cars to be had. It was, we were in a big panic, that's for sure. Travel panic. 7 days, no travel.
Crazy.
No flights.
Still can't believe that all happened.
It is. It's surreal. It's like, okay, we just watched a movie happen right in front of our eyes.
Mm-hmm. To be a part of something so significant in our history.
Right.
And to think that happened during our time here.
And there's so many people who are, it's so weird because Emma and Drew don't get it. They don't understand it. They see it in movies, but they don't understand it because they weren't right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of makes me remember a little bit about growing up and having history class, and then talking about the things that happened that we weren't there for,
Right.
and then to think about this significant moment that we were there for.
Correct.
It's just like, wow, I can't believe that little piece happened in my slice of time while I was here. And
I was pregnant with the twins.
Oh,
And-
you were heavy with child.
Yeah.
Plural.
But you know, the one thing that I remember is they set up the triage, and they had a bunch of body bags and stuff that they were looking at, thinking they were going to be pulling out like all these survivors and stuff, and it was just crickets.
Right.
Crickets in
And
there.
there was so much unknown information, so much. It was a crazy time. Just I slept on the couch for like weeks just watching the tickers and
Mhm.
watching the news and watching,
News tickers.
hoping that someone would get found, hoping this, and
yeah,
now they've turned it into a recovery effort. And oh my gosh,
my first time back there. Well, it was my first time to New York, but it was they were just starting the rebuild. They had the hole in the ground and everything. There was partial building stuff set up, and for the most part, everything was cleaned up, but a lot of the damage was still there. The
Sure.
fire department that was across the street, you could see the wreckage there, and then on the side of the fire department, they had all of the firefighters that were lost. They had all of their stuff up, and I mean, it's like right across the street. Like, I mean, it was it was within where it caught all of the stuff when it fell. I mean, everything was smashed up against this fire department. I mean, that's where one of the, one of the fire trucks that are in the museum now, that were destroyed. That's from here. That's from Clintonville. Went there and seen that, and there's just such a heavy, I was far past the cleanup, so I didn't get
Right.
the smells. I didn't get that, but it was a very heavy, like,
oh yeah,
You could feel the energy
you
there.
could feel it. It was, everybody knew, and it was a spot of respect. You just felt like everybody was there for the same reason.
yes,
And
a reverence that you
Mhm.
said it, Chris. There's an absolute reverence about that area and a reverence about today, because there's people who aren't here today because of that situation, and it's just
Yeah.
senseless.
yeah, it was definitely, I don't know. You just got to let it run. Yeah, I think you just have to let that run. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, a dead battery on that camera there, but we can still hear you. We just got you locked up on the screen.
Sure. Yeah.
But definitely a day that we won't soon forget, and in thoughts and prayers to this day with all of those that
So
were
many
part of
people were
that.
impacted. So many people's lives were impacted.
Mhm. And it's unfortunate that things like that have to happen, but I remember very well what it felt like as far as the community coming together,
Yes.
the
Mhm.
country coming together and uniting as one, putting differences aside, and everybody remembering.
President of the
hey,
United States throwing out the first pitch at the Yankee baseball game. The
Do you remember when he got notified? He was reading a book.
Yeah.
yeah, he
in
was
a
at a school
children's
touting his
school.
new
I
education
remember I
bill.
was at the first Packer game at Lambeau Field after that happened. They brought the flag. They had that huge there was a big flag, and it was a huge event at Lambeau Field when but there was the nation came together.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it took that to come together, and we need something to bring us together now. I hope no more death and destruction, but that was an important time in our life.
Yeah.
Very important time.
Yeah. It was. But we're here, and we're fortunate enough to be able to talk about it and reminisce, and to all of those that were lost, the 3,000 plus, will always be in our thoughts and in our prayers, and especially on a day like today.
Right.
So it's just one of those things. Where were you? Why don't you go ahead and throw that in the comments below? Would love to read where it was that you were on that day, September 11th. What, 23 years ago? Is that what it is? 23?
Yep, 23.
23 years ago today.
Kind of crazy. That's
Super crazy. But comment below. Let us know if you're listening. Just share with us a like. We want to know that you are here and sharing a part of your day, the start of your day, with us here on New Living Mornings and newlivingnow.com, a little referral resource for professionals like ourselves in and around Northeast Wisconsin and the Fox Valley. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is sharing the good word Yeah. So moving forward from that, it's kind of difficult when we're talking
Very
about
somber. Yeah,
something so somber. And it's like, well, now what do we jump into? What fun and happy and exciting stuff. And it's one of those things where you know what? There's moments where you do that, you hit the low spot, but then you chat and you jump onto something super positive and you roll forward. But today is going to be one of those days where you let that moment, you let that sad moment sit for a second and
it needs some dwell time. It sure does.
Yes. Give it a little time and work through it throughout the day. And you're going to see tons of posts. You're going to see stuff on all of the social medias. You're going to see the YouTube videos. You're going to see the television stations rerunning a lot of the things that had happened that day. But it's just one of those days to reflect, pay some respect. And you know what? At the end of the day, we'll continue on, and hopefully nothing like this will ever happen again. And some inconveniences and some pains.
I pray it does not.
Yeah, I do too. It's been a pain and it's been an inconvenience. And you hear like comedians and I'll hear people. I feel like just about every time I travel, and I don't travel a lot. It's a few times a year. I always feel like there's a reference somewhere in the mix about an inconvenience brought on by 9/11,
right.
And it's like, hold up, fool. We're going to have a safe flight.
That's
I'm going to be able to listen to my my earpods and in a show
Showing
and relax
up at the
on the
airport
way.
a couple hours early to make sure that we're going to all land safe and that these pilots are going to go home to their families. I'm okay with.
Don't look at it as an inconvenience.
No.
Look at it as people care and just making sure that we get to where we're going safe and sound.
Correct.
And that kind of thing just never happens again. So, on that note, we're hitting that 45-minute mark with a few glitches, and it's still kind of glitching out. Carrie's actually been holding that pose now for about 20 minutes.
She's doing a great
Believe
job.
Believe it or not, she's even talking without moving her lips.
She beat us all in no blinking game.
Yep.
Killed it.
Yeah. I'm like a ventriloquist.
So we'll get ready to wrap this thing up here on our downward spiral to the weekend. Again, it means so much that you spend a few minutes with us, whether it's now or you're catching that replay later in the day. It's amazing. Before we jump out, though, what in the heck, Carrie?
What?
Why do we have Halloween stuff up already?
Because it's in
the
September.
PSLs just came out. I think it's too soon.
No, it's not.
It's too soon.
It's spooky season.
I don't know.
Is it? Where did you get your information? Okay. Was it a sale on Amazon that tipped you off that said, "Hey, they're giving half off on purple spider
At
lights"?
least she doesn't have Christmas stuff up.
And wand.
No.
Do you have a wand that turns on your lights?
I do.
Is it? You have
Harry Potter wand.
You got a Harry Potter wand that turns on the lights.
I do. It's called It's a Harry Potter wand.
What else can that wand do?
It can turn the lights off too.
Oh,
it can make you shut up.
You know what? If it
could turn my camera on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you can make that thing take care of technology, I'm in. Absolutely.
You just have to ask me. I have to get.
Can you please use your wand?
Let me go into my spell book.
Okay, if you can, it's in Guardium Leviosa. Something like that's
Levi. It's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa.
There you have it. And she's now using the wand as a microphone.
I am.
That's fantastic.
My name's Carrie Potter.
No, you're not seeing anything.
Very festive down here. Extremely festive in the
All right, kids. Let's wrap this up. Get our day going. Thank you so much for making your day a part of ours again, Tommy. Appreciate the time hanging out here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
K-Bear, thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's
been real. It's been fun.
We're gonna steal that wand from her.
No, you're not.
What if, Tommy? Can we get that thing set up to like turn on and off other things?
Probably.
It's got to be like a Bluetooth thing, like the car, or make it flush a toilet or something. That would be fantastic.
Got to go to Oleander's and get your own wand.
All right. I guess that's Tommy. We're going shopping.
Happy Wednesday to everybody.
All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us again here with newlivingnow.com.
Bye.